what does it look like to celebrate people in their everyday life? And so I've been thinking about that. What does that look like? But for you, like you're being silly and being like, happy birthday when it's not their birthday. But I think you're on to something that how do we see people, honor them, and say, I see you, like, hey, celebrating you without it being a special day. What do you think?
Happy birthday. See, I like that reaction.
That's what it is. The laughing or like the
smiling.
See? So how do you bring a smile to someone's face every day?
Welcome to Living in 3D Power, a space where questions matter, stories heal, and joy is our practice.
Hey, it's me, Emma. Welcome back to Living in 3D Power, and today we're talking about celebrating you.
With the, what is that? I can't do that, Emma, look, with the celebrating you. Do you know what inspired this?
My chicken nugget.
Your chicken nuggets? So
I was just eating chicken nuggets.
You were just eating chicken nuggets. So what's your chicken nugget? What was your chicken nugget from last week?
I'm probably not going to word it exactly.
That's okay.
But it was basically like go back on your past birthdays and like look at all the memories and moments.
Yeah, and what came up for me, because I just had my birthday last Thursday, is that, when you go back and take that, remember we talked about like spatial awareness, when you take that view and just become an observer, then I think it has helped me reframe possibly some of the ways that I saw my birthday and some of the negative things attached to it with my mom. And so now I can look at it and do, instead of that narrow view, I can do more of that bird's eye view, that wider view, and see there were people there that cared about me that maybe I didn't always see because I had so much pain and shame I was going through. So I think you gave a beautiful invitation. And what I did with that, and what I'm going to do every week because you give such good chicken nuggets, is that when I have my 3D Power Pause on Sunday, I unpack it with the people there. And you either join live at 7:14 a.m. No, not you, just people.
Oh.
People join live on Substack for free, or they can catch the I guess the async version, or like the recording. So they can watch it at their own pace, because not everyone gets up at 7:14, or they have childcare, and so it doesn't work for everyone. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll do an evening one and see how that works for some people. But at any rate, I did that, and when I unpacked that, some of the questions that came up as you were giving me that, I asked people questions. So then we're going to come back to the questions that I asked in that group, and we're going to do them together. So one of the things that came up for me, the first question was, what stands out when you reflect on your past birthdays, and what emotions show up most often? And remember you asked me something similar to that last week, and you said, when you think about your birthday, what do you feel? Or I don't even know if it was feeling, but it was something, what do you think? And I felt something heavy in my chest. And so I was naming certain words, and I wish I had my journal, because I'll journal. We have a period of time of reflection, and then we kind of go into our own, I call it like your own cocoon. You kind of turn your camera off and you write, but I'm the only one that you can see on there, because it's kind of like, I don't know if you know anything about webinar version. You wouldn't know that. But webinar version of Zoom or any platform is just kind of like you see the person and you don't see anyone else. You can just kind of go in the chat, but you can't really be on video. So I turned my camera off and I journal. And some of the words that came up for me were shame. I couldn't think of the actual word, but it's like I didn't feel like I belonged. Unlovable. So those are the words that came up for me. And that helped me to process a little bit. So some of those things that I also thought were, how do I reframe that then? So because I carried that shame, that unlovability, it let me be around people that didn't care for me or that caused me harm, or the negative comments I had about myself. It just led to me believing that that was true. So now that I'm older, and also I think we might have said this here, is that because I finally let down that guard and being like, I deserve to be celebrated, then it allowed Daddy to celebrate me more fully, because I was kind of really guarded before. So I think those things reflect on past. Those hard memories are some of the things that we really hold on to sometimes. So how do I, again, do that bird's eye view and think about what are the positives that were also there, or that those experiences don't make up the totality of my entire life. Totality, the total sum. They don't make up my whole life, right? My 45 years, those days when my mom didn't say happy birthday, or I didn't feel celebrated, or I didn't feel seen. And again, not even talking about just birthdays, it doesn't have anything to do with me not being worthy or lovable, right? But I had to learn that later in life. And my hope is that as we have these conversations, that that's not something you have to learn later, that you carry that with you now and always at 11, 12, until you get 45, 85, 95, that you never have to unlearn the things that I had to unlearn about thinking that I was unlovable, thinking that I didn't belong, thinking all of these
I just
negative
got
things.
deja vu.
How so?
I don't like, because you said 95. Like, I get deja vu like every second. I don't like it.
What's 95 have to, what did that come
You
up before?
like counting.
Okay.
You're like doing the numbers. I don't know why.
And you've heard that sequence of numbers before?
I think you said it before.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I think that's part of the prayer for you, is that you, as you grow older, that you never have to unlearn the things that I have to unlearn. Because it's just a waste of precious energy and time, but it's worth the journey. So I want to help the viewers understand, like, what I'm saying is not that you shouldn't do the work as an adult to heal, because it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of work. But that's why a lot of people don't want to do the work, and they'd rather stay stuck, because it can make you uncomfortable. It can make you bring up things you don't really want to name. But I tell you what, it is so worth it. It's so worth it, so that you can be more whole and free, like you at 11. You can experience that in adulthood too. So the goal is that you always experience that. And not saying that it's perfect, right? Because you still have your struggles and you still make silly mistakes. But it doesn't mean that the whole sum of you is a mistake. That makes sense? How you talked about reframing before, like you turn it and reverse it. Same thing. So yeah. So what about you? So what stands out when you reflect on your past birthdays, and what emotions show up most often?
When I look back on my past birthdays, I usually spend time with my family. And the emotion that comes up, happiness.
Why happiness?
Because I always have fun on my birthday.
Where do we usually go? What is your thing you like to always go to on your birthday?
Hershey Park?
We don't go to Hershey.
We went there once.
Oh yeah, but it's cold. It was a cold winter. Where do you usually like to eat on your birthday?
Oh, we go to this hibachi place.
You love the hibachi place. I don't know when we started going there, but that is your thing where you want to go to hibachi. But this year you were going to change it. We were going to go to, I can't think of what it's called now, the sushi place where it has the robots, it has the conveyor belt that goes around, it has anime, but it was a 2.5 hour wait. I said, no ma'am, we going to Shogun. We're going to get you some hibachi today, because it is the up and coming new restaurant. So it's a chain. I can't think of it, but we'll take you there when it's not super packed. I think when you go between lunch and dinner is a time that you should usually go.
So like 5?
I don't know what time they start dinner, but probably around there, whatever time they have a break. If you get in there right away, you should be good, because they don't take reservations. But I think you and Maya, Jojo, I don't know if Jojo's been, but Grandma Kia's been. I don't know if Dad went. I don't think he got in there yet. But it's a good time. You can get anything and everything. You have 2 hours to eat. So
I need at least 3.
You're not even going to eat that much, because you can't eat that much. So you have to be mindful with the choices that you make, so you don't want to gorge yourself, because that's for what? Just get small portions and use small plates. I like small plates, so you get to sample everything. But yeah, so we'll have to do that. So I love that you said spending time with family, but I know one of the things that you would love to do is spend time with your friends. And does that get challenging or frustrating sometimes for you? Why?
Yeah. Because I'm always like, I want to have a birthday party, but then you're like, no, everyone's busy because it's around the holiday.
And see, and that is the hard part for me. And I just saw something that's so interesting you say that, because I just saw something on Instagram where someone was like planning your 40th birthday party that's 3 years away because it's during the holiday. So she wants to go to some exotic island for her birthday. So she's like, I got to start telling people to save their money now, because she feels bad that she would ask someone to take this excursion or go abroad for her birthday, knowing that it's right around the holidays.
For my sweet 16th, I either want to go back to Chicago or go to Tokyo.
Now it's Tokyo?
Japan.
I thought you said Thailand before.
Japan.
So Chicago, Tokyo. I mean, one and the same.
Yeah, it's obviously the same.
What are the two extremes there, and why is 16 so important to do something big for your birthday?
Because I feel like that's like the only time, like 16. Like
16 is a big birthday?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're like kind of an adult.
Oh, like bat mitzvah or bar mitzvahs for boys and girls, they become an adult at 15.
I
Or
thought
that's
that
a
was
kindergarten.
13.
Is it?
Bar mitzvahs
We
at
just watched
13.
that show yesterday.
Yeah.
So
It's 13.
okay, 13. And then so quinceañera is 15. So Sweet 16 used to be a show on MTV, and Tiana Taylor was on that show. You should go back and watch that episode. So they would have these elaborate 16th birthday parties, but that's kind of the American culture where it's 16. So I can see that. I would definitely agree to disagree that 16 is, I mean, I guess it's approaching adulthood, but we talked about frontal lobe development and it's
Yeah.
until 25. So legally you're an adult at 18, but it's kind of scary to think about. So I don't know. But yeah, I think
5 more years until I'm 16.
we're going to make those years go slow. Don't rush them.
They always go slow.
You think so? You were just a baby. I just brought you home like yesterday. And here you are 11. Getting ready to go to middle school. It went fast to me.
It went slow. for
JoJo's
me.
about to be 23.
Ooh, she old.
If she's old, then what am I?
Young and youthful.
Young and youthful, and my child is old?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we'll see. 16, JoJo was COVID, so we couldn't go anywhere. Maya just wanted something small in the backyard, but it was really cool. Tea party,
I want something
English theme.
big.
And then you're like, Chicago, Tokyo. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you want for your graduation gift then when you graduate from high school?
House?
A house?
Well, maybe.
Listen,
Maybe.
speak that into existence. Don't limit yourself. We talk about freedom dreaming here, okay? So you said for 16, Tokyo. Or Chicago, you would obviously want Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then you said for 18, you want a house.
Well, I'm gonna go to college, so maybe like after I graduate from college, a house.
Listen, I love it. I love it. Generational wealth. Like let's work on that. You spoke into existence. Let's touch and agree on that. Child wants a house. Be the youngest homeowner in our family.
Really?
You can do it. Yeah, you can do it. It is
The
possible.
youngest
You would be
homeowner?
the youngest. It is possible. So you heard it here first. So when we fast forward to your college days or your young adulthood, when you get the keys to your first house, we'll be like, Emma said it here. What day is today? April 20th at 4:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to clock that. I love that. Okay. So 2 more sets of questions. The other question, when you talked about do that timeline of birthdays, and you know what came up for me? It was I skipped over a really hard part of my life. And sometimes we don't realize we do that, but when you sit with stuff, you're like, oh, wait, that did happen. I might need to go back and revisit that. There might be some stuff still there. So that helped me to really sit with it sometimes. And what we don't do in our society, right? We talk about we're so busy,
Yeah.
is that we don't give ourselves the time to just sit and process things. You know how we talk about not being impulsive and processing? So when we process, we can think through scenarios. We can also just think about, is that really how I feel now? What am I still holding on to? What do I need to let go? So the other questions that came up were, what beliefs about yourself were shaped in those moments? Are those beliefs still true? So when you think about your birthdays and what did you, and the beliefs that you attach to them, because our events in our lives, like those peaks, those high points, and then those valleys, like those low points, there's stories attached to that. So do you have some peaks and some valleys attached to celebrating you or birthdays? Is there a story attached to that, something you believe about yourself?
You always give me donuts.
So what's the belief attached to that? I know you said that you feel happy on your birthday, but is there a belief that you attach to giving you something that you like and you don't always have access to sweets? So
I'm loved
you're loved. So why does that make you feel loved to get donuts?
because I usually don't get sweet treats, and it's like special.
It's special to get the sweets on your birthday. So the beliefs about that is that because that's kind of something we don't really do a lot in the home, trying to keep you healthy, and there's a lot of different health issues that go that way, and because we need to learn self-control with sweets. When Emma was young, y'all, she climbed up on the the cabinets, and broke the shelf trying to get to the candy. Is that true? Is that not true? Do we still have an issue with like balancing the amount of candy we should eat? That's still a thing. A little bit. But that's okay. We're growing and learning self-control, right? Don't you ever feel sick after eating all that candy? Yes, you do.
I don't.
Remember the one time you got a headache,
That's like the most, but my stomach doesn't hurt.
but you don't feel good is what I'm saying.
I
Like your
feel
head
fine.
doesn't really feel that great.
Well, it doesn't really happen that often.
Well, because you're not allowed to just gorge candy. And so I think about when I was young, there was a container. Have you ever seen the container Twizzlers that are individually wrapped? There was a whole container you get. So Graham would get me this whole container of Twizzlers. I ate so many one time that Twizzlers came out my nose.
No.
I don't even remember how it happened. I just remember walking in Middletown. I don't know if I sneezed or what, and it came out my nose.
Like red?
A Twizzler, a piece of a Twizzler. But it's all connected.
Right, because it's like,
Yeah, so I'm like, chill. But see, I would eat so much candy that I would feel sick.
I don't feel sick.
Like
I
I could feel my sugar dropping.
just get a headache sometimes.
Yeah,
And
that is
that's
a
it.
part. That's a part of
But
feeling
my
sick.
stomach don't. No,
It's not
but
just
like,
your stomach because you're consuming something and eating it. It's what it does to the rest of your body.
but I don't always get a headache.
Yeah. Okay. So the point being, you feel loved when I give you sweets because you don't have access to sweets.
Yeah.
So say I didn't get you donuts on your birthday, would you feel like you weren't loved?
No.
Why not? You just said getting donuts on your birthday makes you feel loved because it's not something you get. You don't get a lot of sweets. So is that like a
Because
form of
I'm
love to
around
you?
my family.
So there's not just one thing, right? It's being around your family. So if you just came home from school, say you had school that day and no one was here, no one gave you a card or anything and didn't say anything, would that make you feel loved? But you still be around your family. Well, I said now people would be here, but they wouldn't say happy birthday. Would that make you feel loved? Why not?
Because I feel like you should say happy birthday to people. Even like I always say happy birthday to people.
Yeah.
I'm just like happy birthday.
When it's not their birthday?
Yeah.
You and Maya do that.
And they're like, it's not my birthday. And then I'm like, I know.
So why do you think you do that?
I don't know. I just like saying it and like people's reactions.
Because they're like, it's not my birthday.
They're like, it's not
So
my
that's
birthday.
kinda just being
or they're
funny.
like, happy birthday.
So you're just being funny then.
No.
Do you think there's some level of like, you like to celebrate people or you think people should be
Celebrate.
celebrated?
Yeah.
So I think about that because this weekend was full of celebrations. So Thursday was my birthday. I just went to the spa though. And I don't want to say just. I was at the spa for 7 hours. I needed that time. It
7
was great.
hours.
And then I came home. JoJo made steak and frites with that mushroom sauce. Ma'am.
Restaurant.
Put that on the menu.
Restaurant.
So good. And then we had to go to your orchestra concert. So then Friday, Daddy and I went to that gala. We got all fancied up. And they had 3 different sets of awards for people in the community. And so that was a celebration of people. So people got up there. They actually did videos. You ever see like an award show and they do the videos of people and then they present the award to them? So they had this thing where they kind of interviewed people and they said all these amazing things about them. And then they came up and got the award and took a picture. And then Saturday we had a surprise party for friends, Nicole, Ron, and their son CJ for their 3-year anniversary of their starting their business. So again, another celebration. And then what's today? Monday. So then what was yesterday? So there's something else.
Sunday.
Yesterday, the 10th anniversary of the Singers Lounge. So going to support Uncle Mal at the Singers Lounge. And so all this celebration happening this weekend. And we had just talked about being celebrated. I'm like, what a perfect time to actually sit in it. And I was talking to my friend Nicole about that. And she was like, oh my gosh, it was so overwhelming. Like when she walked, I think I showed you the video, right? She walked in, she walked back out. Yeah, she walked back out the room because it was like, what is happening? She thought she was just going to dinner. And then she walks in and there's like 70 people there to celebrate her. And so trying to process that level of love and also being surprised can be hard. But I think it's really beautiful to think about, how do we celebrate people anyway, regardless of a birthday or anniversary or like a celebration of life? What does it look like to celebrate people in their everyday life? And so I've been thinking about that. What does that look like? But for you, like you're being silly and being like, happy birthday when it's not their birthday. But I think you're on to something that, how do we see people, honor them, and say, I see you, like, hey, celebrating you without it being a special day? What do you think?
Happy birthday. See, I like that reaction.
That's what it is. The laughing or like the
smiling.
See, so how do you bring a smile to someone's face every day? I think that's a beautiful way. So when you're thinking about celebrating someone, I love that, Emma. It's that you want us to have a smile on their face. You want to make them feel, like you said, happy and loved. So you're trying to find a way to do that in the everyday life. And it's just your silly way of doing it, saying happy birthday, but you love the reaction because you want people to smile and be happy. Yeah. I love that. So now I'm thinking as an adult, what does that look like? Because I'm not going to be walking up to people saying happy birthday, but I might try it and see what happens.
They might be like...
You think adults wouldn't be as cool with it as kids? Oh, because we're more robotic? Yeah. We're not as fun. But you have me thinking. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to have to journal about that.
Happy birthday.
See, you know what it is?
See, he smiled again.
But I think it's also because your face. That's what it is. Okay. That's good, though. You got me thinking. I'm going to think about that. Okay, so let's move on to the last set. So the last set is, what would it look like to celebrate yourself differently this year? So, and what is one small way you can honor yourself this week? So how do you celebrate yourself differently this year? And then something you can do this week to celebrate you, simply for being you.
For my birthday, I could hang out with my friends.
Oh, that would be
this
different.
Weekend, like the weekend after my birthday.
Oh, so that's like being mindful. And it doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to bring gifts. So for Nicole and Ron's party, they said your presence is the gift. You don't have to bring anything. So just being around those is gift enough, right? But I think some people feel pressure, but if you name that and say, you don't have to worry about bringing anything, I think people feel better about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something that you can do differently, celebrate your birthday, is that you can do it with friends this year for 12. And what about...
12?
Yeah. You got a little ways to go, December 17th.
Yeah.
But we did something different for 11 when we had the video.
True.
But you weren't all like smiling at that. You were like, ah. That was emotional.
Happy tears.
Happy tears. They were happy tears. So what is one small way you can honor yourself this week then?
Sweet treat.
Because it goes hand in hand with like that I like something sweet. So what's the sweet treat?
Root beer float.
A root beer float, old school. Is there a certain type of root beer?
Just root beer. And then
I mean, there are different types of root beer. You have like A&W, you have Barks.
Oh, A&W.
I don't know about that. But yeah, that's good.
Aww.
And do you just like regular vanilla bean ice cream on there, regular vanilla?
Yeah, vanilla.
I used to love root beer floats. Grandma and I used to do root beer floats all the time. She liked butter pecan.
What?
It has like the pecans in it.
Eee.
And I would like spit those pieces out.
I don't like, yeah.
But I love pistachio ice cream. But I'm not putting that in root beer float.
Yeah, that would taste weird.
Although, second time I've had this though, Emma.
Cream soda.
Oh, that might be good. Okay, so that's something we can do to honor you this week. And you know what? It's
and
a worthwhile
also
thing.
PSSAs.
Aren't you excited about that?
Yeah.
So PSSAs are our state assessments. So Emma's in 5th grade. So what do you have to take this week?
Reading.
Only reading all week? Reading, math?
Reading, and then next week, math and science.
So 3 different assessments. It's a lot. And I'm saying this as a school psychologist. It's a lot for kids. And one group of tests does not, again, it does not represent the totality of who you are and how you learn. Not everyone is a great test taker or does well with the pressure or...
They make it seem like it's this like big thing.
Right.
Like, they're like, so you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this.
Because there's all these state rules to it. So it's overwhelming to a lot of students, but also to a lot of teachers. So in a lot of states, they're basically calling this like teaching to the test, where they're literally teaching curriculum or what they teach you every day around this test, because some teachers are graded on how well you do. And it's ridiculous. So I'm not a big, and I don't know how y'all feel, parents, but I was just talking to another school psych about this, and she was like, I always told my daughter, she said her daughter still has the note, and her daughter's grown now. She said, PSSAs are stupid. Like, she told her that. But she was really trying to say, like, don't put that pressure on yourself that they put on you, because that test does not define who you are as a person. I don't want you being stressed, overwhelmed for those 3 tests.
And also, we get to have fun after PSSAs,
yeah.
too,
So I think so, too, like, to your point, and I thought this, and then you said it about PSSAs, and you're like, oh, root beer float, is why do we have to go through something hard to get rewarded?
True. It's not that funny.
No, your reaction. Why?
True.
Why was that so?
I feel like I only get rewarded when I do like big things or like good things.
Yeah, and so I think that goes to the question about like honoring yourself this week, or like not waiting for it to be big things like birthdays, anniversaries, or like you score the winning touchdown, or you got the fastest split time. I think it's more like, in this society, right, you have to do the next big thing. You have to do this grand thing to be celebrated. And we're trying to create a world where we celebrate you just for simply being you. And that would be people like just knowing who you are, the little things that you like. You're like, I just want a root beer float, and that makes me happy. Or I want to spend time with my family watching a movie. Those little things go a long way. But sometimes we look at the big shiny things on TV, and they make us think we should have those things. And guess what? A lot of those people that are rich and famous are miserable. Why are you making that face? What kind of laugh is that? Why is that funny? What is happening? Why is that so funny?
2 hours later.
It's because these shows I watch shows, and I think those people are famous, so they're miserable.
Why does that make you
I
laugh?
don't know. Because they always look so happy.
They
They're
could
like,
be, but guess what? Who is like happy-go-lucky 24/7? No one. And I even think about that for us too. And I think that's why we try to have real conversations. But we're not always happy and like getting along. Like, we have challenges, right? We had some challenges this past week. But I think that's the truth. It's like, not everything's rainbow and sunshine all the time, but it's the both and of life. But I think sometimes people on TV, on social media will just put out the good things. And then people think, oh my gosh, my life sucks because this person is so happy all the time. And no one is always happy. Not everything goes right for everyone all the time in their life, right? People experience grief in all of its forms. And life is random, and we don't know what's coming knocking on our door. So I think, even though I was like, why are you laughing like that? But they might be happy, they might be navigating it. But like, what you find, people that say, like, you know, that are on Wall Street making all this money, these millionaires and stuff, miserable people. We might know some leaders that have it all. You talked about this earlier. Why are you so miserable? Why are you so grumpy when you have everything? That's the point. You running in a whole country, tweeting stuff and saying you're going to demolish a whole nation of people, and then psych, and then probably made millions of dollars off of that in some dark market, like gambling scheme. So I think about that. So that goes to the point of like, money doesn't buy you happiness. It's connection to people. It's loving yourself.
Buy me love.
How do you know that song?
It's by the Beatles. Pretty
You
sure.
and Maya. Yeah, I think so. Maya probably has it on her vinyl.
Can't buy me love.
Money can't buy you love, but what does? Nothing buys you love, but what you people, connection with people understanding and seeing you for who you are, and connecting with them deeply, not superficially. So I think that is important, Emma. So with that, and talking about past birthdays, beliefs about those moments, and how we can celebrate ourselves this week. Oh, and I didn't answer that for myself. I could celebrate myself this week. I actually don't. Let me see what's going on for me this week. Maybe I would join you in that root beer float, because that's a good nostalgic. There's something about nostalgia.
Maybe cream soda.
I think I just want the regular root beer float.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it cold enough so that the ice kind of gets a little crispy. It gets a little.
You put ice in yours?
No, I mean the ice cream gets a little it gets icy. I like that part. But I think that would be good. Or I just had a matcha with pistachio simple syrup. Second time I had it.
You can make a matcha with pistachio ice cream.
Oh, maybe. Or I can find a pistachio simple syrup and put it in my matcha at home. So it's this, and every time I have a matcha that I love, I just go into this blissful state, and I'm like, it's the simple things in life. So that's something that makes me happy. It's root beer float for you, matcha for me. So that's what I'm going to do for myself this week. So with that, Emma, what is your chicken nugget wisdom or challenge for us that we'll circle back to on 3D Power Pause, and then we'll come back and regroup and think about it next week? What are you thinking?
Find a song that matches your emotions in the moment.
In the moment? I like that. Do you have one right now in your head for the moment?
Because I'm happy when
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I knew you were going to say that when you talked about being happy. We're doing something that makes you happy.
And when I was a baby, I danced to that song.
You did. You danced to lots of songs. But yeah, that's good. I had a song in my head that I've been waking up to. Oh, there it is. I'm So Proud of You. So I put up a picture of me and Uncle Mal yesterday, because this is the first time at the Singers Lounge after Uncle Avery died. So I was just super proud of him. I'm super proud of his journey and the growth he's had to do in the midst of so much grief. And so that song kind of just comes in my spirit every morning when I wake up. I usually have a song in my head, and that's been the song in my head. But I'm thinking in this moment, talking about celebrating yourself, is that what does it start with me, that I'm proud of myself? Right? So think about, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. Boom. Did I get my own chicken nugget wisdom? So we're going to come up with a song next week. Maybe we'll have a playlist.
Yeah.
I love that. So we'll see y'all next week. What is your song? And you know, we didn't look at the camera this time to make sure the video didn't stop.
But it's still going.
It's still going.
Yay!
We'll see you next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye. I'm so glad you joined me and Mommy for this episode of Living in 3D Power. I hope you like it. Now do me a favor before you leave. Subscribe to our Substack, and make sure you subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts too. And hey, do me another favor. Share this episode with a friend or family member. If something we said made you laugh, made you smile, or it might mean something to them, just send it away. Okay, one more favor. That's a lot of favors, I know. Head over to the comments on our social media. Tell us what made you say, "That's deep, bro." Because your words encourage other people, and they encourage us too. See you next time.